Hi everyone, welcome to Live from Gallifrey on this Sunday evening.
Woo! We are happy to be back to be able to discuss with you the one thing that we know you want to hear, Doctor Who.
And we want you to share this video out to your friends. We really want to grow this Doctor Who fandom,
That's right.
and we've been doing it for a while, and please talk in the chat so you know that this is worthwhile for us.
Yes, at some point it's going to be to a point where we're like, I don't know if anyone's watching. Should we continue? So talk to us. Let us know that you're here. Let us know that you're watching because we love to be able to talk to you and discuss Who.
And hopefully new episodes. So coming up next year, we're going to have new episodes. I'm pretty sure more of you will jump on because we are talking retro Doctor Who from now until the new season starts.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, it's a great way for you to be able to catch up and be introduced to Who if you haven't been before. And tell your friends. Let them know that this show is out here. So
it is a great fandom. It is super fun. If you are into sci-fi, this is one of the, I don't know, one of the shows that you have to be into. I feel like Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who are kind of like the foundations of sci-fi fandom.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, think about it. If it's ever been discussed, or parodied on The Simpsons, it's something you should know.
It's true. Yeah. So we are talking about episode 10 of season 2. Sorry, mushed that up. Of Love and Monsters,
which is a very interesting episode because right now it has it separates the herd. Pretty much is a great way to say it because it has a reputation for being one of the worst Doctor Who episodes ever.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not like this episode the first time around. I thought it was dreadful. I thought it was a waste of my time.
Yes.
But you shared with me some interesting information that made me actually quite like this episode. Yeah.
Oh,
so do tell.
I don't know if you guys know about it, but actually the monster, the Absorbaphon or whatever it was called, was actually a monster. There you go, Zorbaloff was actually created by a child. And what was the child's name?
William Grantham, I think. He was 9 years old at the time, and there was this contest, and he drew one of these aliens, won the contest, and so Doctor Who had to fabricate this monster and throw him into an episode, and this is the episode that he's in.
They did, yeah. So, it was very interesting. They chose to have a comedian.
Look, it's super cute. Like, he is 9 years old. He did a drawing, and they made this suit.
Look at that.
I think it is ridiculously phenomenal for this kid to be able to share it. And you actually sent me a video of William
him now as an adult talking about it.
And saying how much shit he dealt with from adults, like, just trashing on his character, trashing on this episode. And at 9 years old, that's actually pretty shitty.
It is. That's what makes it, unfortunately, slightly toxic, man. I mean, it's a kid. You're like, oh, stupid mom. You made this. This is the worst monster ever. He's like, I'm only 9 years old. You know, and they're like, shut up, you stupid kid.
And how many of the fans out there actually have one of their creatures on Doctor Who? Like, let's praise this young kid.
Exactly.
I think out of all the monsters, this is something that's super creative in my opinion.
It is.
I don't think I could have came up with anything nearly so gross, to be honest.
Honestly,
At 9 years old, but it fits the Doctor Who.
It does. It fits into that whole world of Doctor Who. It definitely does. And when you really do think about it, it's slightly scary. When they do show little faces.
The faces coming out. It's terrifying. As goofy and as slapstick as this character is, it's quite terrifying. And I like how Rose is like, are you related to the Slitheen?
Yeah,
and it's like, oh no, we're on the sister planet. Like, I know we're green and we're very big and we absorb humans and all this other stuff, but we're not quite.
Yeah, Pelopatraxis or whatever that planet is. I don't know, we're the sister planet called home or whatever it was. Just a one word. And it was it's a sister planet? Just like
it's funny. It has a Doctor Who humor that is involved in this. I absolutely love it. It made me love this episode so much more, knowing that, like, a 9-year-old child, put his creativity into this, and the writers, did their best. And also, this is a Doctor and Companion Light episode. They were filming it with the previous 2 episodes with the Ood, and it was really hard to get them to come in. So this is one of the first episodes that don't really have the Doctor or the Companion. The next one is so much better. When we get to Blink, I'm absolutely going to love it. But I love how this is kind of the beginnings of that.
Yeah, exactly. And it still was kind of interesting. I mean, they tried to expand the world, give us an introduction to particular characters. Yes. One character's name was Elton. Now, Elton, his whole thing was his proximity to the Doctor's past adventures. Yeah,
kind of like Amy Pond came in during his childhood, never left, got to see him. I like the references of some of the episodes that we already saw, like the very first episode with Eccles and Rose with the whole mannequin thing, and it was like, oh yeah, these weird shop shop people,
yeah,
like keep alive,
glass,
and then the aliens of London. That was another thing he mentioned,
Man,
and also the Christmas invasion, like on Christmas in the early Santas, and it gave like this expansion to the world. I thought.
But my thing was still watching this on a second watch. It just felt like it was lazy filler because they were just like, "Oh, hey, you guys remember this? Hey, guys."
I thought it was like a clip show. I thought it was like a clip show kind of filler episode.
I didn't need all of that in some moments, and it just kind of upset me. And it felt like lazy filler. But then looking at the character itself, it kind of played him off as not a sympathetic character, but really a narcissistic. Because the way he gives off the breakdown of everything, he's like, so I run into Rose, I ran into this, I do this, and blah, blah, blah. I ran into all these people. This
Larry Newbill, sorry to cut you off, but we got a super chat from Larry Newbill. More DVDs ordered. Larry, your shelf is so full. What did you even order?
If you guys don't know, unfortunately, Larry Newbill is definitely a fan that soldiers through a lot of stuff with us. And with that, he is clearly showing that he has a problem with ordering DVD sets or box sets, and you guys should see his collection. It's ridiculous at the moment.
Man, the afternoon cartoons, like he showed me that, like Tailspin, that was the
Tailspin, DuckTales, Carmen Sandiego, like it's all the good stuff back to what you remember, and pretty much almost back to when this episode probably even aired. So it all works well. It all works well. Oh God, the Slab.
But as you were saying, like Elton seemed more kind of what's the word? Conceited, egotistical,
narcissistic.
Yeah.
And, like, it was more about me, and this is all the things that I did, and this is what I ran into.
But it was funny because he didn't actually do that. When you see the interaction with Jackie, where it's like, oh, make some clever joke and get to know her. It was all Jackie, and I feel like it was being very cheeky. That kind of like very dry British humor that we Americans don't pick up on normally. I thought it was absolutely funny, and kind of watching the interactions between this ragtag band of people that found each other. I actually thought it was quite heartwarming that
they were the heart of the episode. I agree with you.
Really
Every one of them. One that I really loved the most, and I know I had to point it out, was the one right over Elton's shoulder, which is not the girl that we not Murning Modal, but Linda. Her name is Linda, and she says this whole thing about her missing daughter and how she comes to London every weekend to find her missing daughter.
And this is an escape and kind of like a group of friends and people that she trusts, and the whole thing of bringing food and it becoming a genuine family and a community. And I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And then you have what's his name that falls in love with Linda.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he falls in love with Linda, but there were some issues. The thing is, when they finally meet the bad guy, the monster, and he's disguised as whatever that
let's
guy
call him
is.
Zorby, because his name is pretty long, so.
When they finally run into him, and he keeps doing the whole thing where it's like, let me have a one-on-one conversation. And they, okay, great, and they all walk out. And why do they allow us to hear the scream, and yet they can't hear the scream?
Yeah, it was just kind of like, hey, one of those, like, irony things where audience knows, but they don't necessarily know. You just kind of take it as it is, and I was kind of fine with it, Like, it was one of those things where I'm like, I'll allow it.
And then, but no one started to pick up on it after the second or the third person started to disappear and didn't show up. No one said, wait a minute, last time they were seen was by you, and you always have an answer as to why they're not here, or why they're gone, or something like that. And they never told us.
Yeah.
But they told you. I understand you employed us all now, and now, pretty much.
Well, not employed. I don't think he was really paying anyone.
Yeah, true.
He just kind of came in and it was like, hey, I have this plan to get the doctor, and this is what we're going to do, and you guys are going to listen because you guys are just playing in a band. But I don't know. The whole thing overall, I like the heart of the story. I thought it was actually really good. I like this monster a whole lot better, knowing that a 9-year-old.
A 9-year-old made it?
And the fact that he was bullied by adults. Shame on you, adults, for bullying this child.
You guys are crappy.
He's 9 years old.
You guys are crappy. Oh my
procession
God.
of shame for you, 100%.
Yes, just send them on through.
Send them
on through. Oh, but I love the fact that we got a little kind of twist on it and let us know that Elton, unfortunately, was an orphan.
Yeah.
And that's why this whole thing of building these people and getting them connected and creating this love or this family was so important to him. Because all the other times it was like, well, what is the point? Why are we doing this? Why is this even happening? But when you found out in the end, like through some kind of like Shyamalan kind of twist at the end, that the doctor was there when he was a kid and his mother died and the doctor was like, I tried to save it. And this whole time it was like, that made a big difference. And it really did kind of solidify Elton as a character that was like, okay, I feel it.
I do, only because usually the doctor is quite compassionate, especially towards children.
Yes.
I thought it was weird that it's like, if doctor knows dad never came down, mom is dead, why wouldn't he comfort the child? Like, they never showed it. We can assume that he does, but as you go through it, you always see the doctor drawn to children, knowing that they were innocent, that they are the hope of the world.
Yes, they deserve the love, the help.
The fact that he kind of left Elton, I was like, man, doctor, that was what we call a dick move.
That was definitely a dick move. It was really selfish. And the doctor should have done something to actually make that difference. And he didn't. And that was something that was like, man, that's a kind of fault on the doctor, but we know because he wasn't available, especially for the filming. Yeah. So that's why we didn't get to go into it.
Which is fine. I mean, like, you know, restraints of like production and him and Rose not being able filming the whole 2-part Ood series. So it's just, you know, I get it. I get it.
Now, how weird was it when he did go on the date with Jackie? And he was really trying to like get in well with Jackie, and it was
I
just
thought
like,
Jackie was being kind of gross and overstepping her boundaries. I don't know. I'm all about females being like, yeah, ask a guy on a date, but her just being like, hey, I broke this. Hey, I did this. Doing some bend and snap stuff like for the whole episode. I was like,
it's the first time I'm talking to you, and I'm showing you my knickers. I was like, how thirsty are you, Jackie?
Well, we saw her with Eccleston, and the first time it's like, a strange man in my room. And I was like, Jackie, shut up. You're being gross. You're being gross. But I can see why Rose turned out the way she did. Damn it, Jackie.
Oh, God. But then speaking of Rose, also, weirdest moment was Rose, who has worked so hard to be separated from her mother in so many ways.
Every single time.
Somehow her mother must have told her about the bad date. And she goes to hunt down the guy with the doctor to show up to give him a tongue lashing about how bad the date was.
But see, that obviously shows how, I mean, it was, because he did have a picture of her daughter. I'm not going to lie, objectively, Rose does have enough concern to be like, yo, who are you? What are you doing? Why do you have my photo? And you were hitting on my mom.
Yes.
And, you know, but I do kind of like how that spurred him to be like, I actually really do appreciate you. You're a really kind woman. I'm going to go get pizza. And also, I love Moaning Myrtle.
Yeah.
Ursula.
Ursula.
Ursula in this particular episode. And I absolutely adore her. And I kind of still liked Elton. Like, yeah, objectively, that's a creepy thing. But I quite like Elton.
He still was able to go ahead and still win our hearts over because he still chose the right thing.
Yeah. As Larry Newbill says, thirsty as hell. Yes, she was. She has been super dehydrated. And like, there was one line that she says, like, oh, I used to have this guy. His name was Mickey, and he did all this for me. I was like, was Mickey sleeping with Jackie?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because Rose is gone.
She said that line, I was like, was Mickey getting it in?
Yeah, he was like, I had this guy that did all of this for me, and his name was Mickey. And I was like, oh, that's a weird way to phrase all of this, Miss Jackie. Does Rose know?
Apparently not. Apparently
I mean, she's with the doctor, and she really does love the doctor. She did not like Mickey at all, let's be honest. But I thought that was a weird thing to throw in. I don't know, the writers for Jackie, to me, just seem really... For Jackie and Rose, I don't particularly like. I mean, that's just me.
It wasn't the best, and...
It's weird. Not as weird as the ending of this particular episode,
Thank you, okay.
Can I segue into that? Because I feel like that's the major thing about this episode.
Slab of Ursula is what we're calling it, right?
The doctor can only save the last person that Zorby absorbed, which was Ursula, Moaning Myrtle, and her face in a slab, and it's like no hair either, like everything pulled back, and was like, hey, let's have a relationship.
Look at it.
Oh God, it's scary. Terrifying.
That is scary.
She looks like an old man.
Oh, like she does look like an old man. She looks like an old man. It's scary.
It's so weird. Out of all the things, it's unsettling. And
yes.
It's just weird.
That's exactly it.
It's so weird.
That's the problem. Oh, God. I just don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. Our
producer Josh is doing some really weird things, but it's one of those things where you have it. It's like, hey, it's that time, honey. You don't have a choice in this.
She can't say. He's like, all right, well, you know I love you. She's like, oh, I know you do. Well, and he just kind of puts the slab down. And ends the night. That's how it is.
It's unsettling, and you know.
I just don't understand. Well, she doesn't need to eat anymore. I mean, I guess she just had. You know, I don't.
But I like how it's like, yeah, and we have a relationship, and I'm like, do
you?
Like, does Elton carry her on the bus and be like, hey, we're going on dates, set her up on the other side of the table, and it's like, well, you can't eat because you don't have a poop hole anymore.
Yeah,
so.
right. So how's it work out, and what does it level out to? That's the weird thing about it. Ultimately,
I kind of wish that she just died. Is that terrible? Is that a terrible thing?
Then to live your life with a slab of concrete?
I mean, Ursula seems to be okay with it.
Oh.
Elton seems kind of like weird, but it's like, well, you're alive, and I can't just abandon you at this point because that would be a dick move.
No,
Also
a dick move is putting her in your lap.
Yeah,
that's gonna work out. So that's gonna work out. You want to live, this is what you'll do. It's not okay. It's not okay.
Yeah, so this whole episode, I learned to appreciate it a lot more.
Yeah.
Mostly because of young William at 9 years old creating this monster. He didn't write the story for it. So the writers obviously were like, well, we're going to have to throw something together. This is what we got. And poor William took the brunt of the hatred.
Yes, I don't understand that either. I mean, adults, you would know, okay, they didn't go to the child and say, now write this episode.
Yeah.
Clearly. But they were like, we're going to yell at you, 9-year-old. Just like, I don't get that part either.
So ridiculous.
I don't get it. But ultimately, so how do you feel with the episode?
I guess the lesson that I learned is the doctor could, open your eyes and take you on great adventures if your companion rules. Or he could kind of just ruin your life, like this kid that he left abandoned, and, like Moaning Myrtle is in a slab, and I'm still 50-50 on it. I like it a lot more. I absolutely hated this episode the first round that I watched it.
Right.
I like it a little bit more, and it's funny, and I found the heart in, like, the group therapy of looking for the doctor.
Yes.
Because that comes up multiple times of, like, people come together to look for the doctor.
That's right.
But, yeah, I mean...
What do you got a number?
No, I just give it a head on a slab, and that's
okay,
my rating.
That's it.
I mean, I feel like that's how it sums it up. What about you?
For me,
there was
hits and misses. Sometimes there were poor acting. I felt Elton at some points was a bad character. Other points, I respect and understood his drive, which made him do the things he did. So that also can make you a good character. So that kind of weighs out on me.
Yeah.
Horrible monster. And then I
We're
had the problem.
not leaning into the monster.
No, I'm just saying the way that
he was terrifying.
No, it's a kid that wrote it. Fine, I get that. That's great on a 9-year-old level. But the thing is, where all the blanks come in is what the writers had to do to fill it in. And what they chose to do to fill it in was very poor. Also, I had an issue concerning the push and pull when it came for the characters to play it straight or play it rather cartoonish. That was an issue.
I kind of felt like Benny Hill's song should have been playing in the background of a lot of these moments.
There had moments where it was just like, here, we're hitting you really strong with it. Figure out what you're doing, understand what your level is, and where you're going with this for the episode. So that was my review concerning what I thought was good, what I thought was bad, and if I have to give it a score, I have to give it a ranking. It's hard for me to do so. I do understand you when you said give it a slab, give it a face with a slab.
Yep.
And with that, I feel like, well, yeah, go ahead and put that slab down, face down. So that's what I felt about the episode.
In a naughty way?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Well, I think that's how we're going to end this episode. We don't want to go any further than that. I don't feel like we're going to keep it short and sweet. Someone needs to get some level of happiness.
That's all. Someone needs some level of happiness from the show. So you guys can always tune in to us, usually here at what time? Usually... Are we 6, 7, 6?
It depends how long Retro Ranger lasts. If
does.
Joe is on the show, we will be doing live from Gallifrey at 7 o'clock. If Joe is not on the show, we will be doing live from Gallifrey at 6. What you can do is click the little bell icon on YouTube, and it'll notify you when we create a new show. That is the best way to keep in touch with all of our timey-wimey time starts for all of our streams.
So with that, guys, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Make sure to tell your friends, share it, spread out the word, let them know what's happening here, because if you like Doctor Who, you can get your friends to like it too. Just have them tune in. So once again, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to keep up to date with everything trending
in geek pop culture.